I'm Congresswoman Jackie Spear, and I'm pleased to be here along with my colleague, Congresswoman Anna Eshoo, State Senator Jim Bell, and Assemblymember Tom Amiano. We're here to get some answers.
Yes.
We're here to ask some questions.
Yeah.
One thing is absolutely clear to me, and I think to everyone on this panel. I, for one, firmly believe in City College of San Francisco.
Yes.
I firmly believe in the importance of the community college system in the state of California and how critical it is to higher education and the opportunity for our young people to succeed. From nationally acclaimed classes here at City College, a nursing and radiology program for more than 16,000 students enrolled in English as a second language, City College is the glue that keeps our workforce vibrant and our culture vibrant in this area. But there is a private, nonprofit, federally authorized agency that's threatening to shut all the doors of City College that the college tries to open for students. I know that the solution to City College future are in this theater today. And it is so very true that sometimes it does take a village. Chancellors, professors, students, graduates, and elected officials all gathered here to provide perspectives that, taken as a whole, will move us forward and over this hump known as the ACCJC. Dr. Barbara Benno, the president of the private nonprofit, the Accrediting Commission for Community and Junior Colleges, declined our request to participate. Her lack of responsiveness is emblematic of part of this problem. Now, she cited active litigation against the ACCJC as a reason to stay away. But all we have to do is look at the likes of Jamie Dimon at JP Morgan Chase, who, even though there's any number of lawsuits being filed against that institution, he does not shirk from coming before Congress and testifying as he should. At the time Dr. Benno wrote us, there were 2 lawsuits filed against the ACCJC. And I understand that as of today, there is now a 3rd lawsuit. These legal battles concern the ACCJC's decision to threaten City College with closure next July. The decision was flawed, according to the office in the Federal Department of Education, which also declined to be here today. There is a glaring weakness in the federal rules that empower the department to review the work of the ACCJC and to issue recommendations that require corrective action by this nonprofit, but do not allow the Department of Education to overturn an accreditation decision that it says is flawed. The department, through the Assistant Secretary of Post-Secondary Education, has only one hammer, and that is to deny ACCJC certification, which is up for review this year. Now, the Secretary of Education can give the ACCJC a year to fix its shortcomings that include a lack of clarity and consistency on sanctions and the makeup of its review team, which, in the case of City College, had a conflict of interest and not enough academic representation. To underscore the troublesome actions of the ACCJC, last month Dr. Benno asked community colleges to send letters of support to her so she could forward them to the Department of Education. I subsequently asked the Department of Education to consider that Dr. Benna was subjecting college chancellors to a loyalty test. I'm deeply concerned about the potential intimidation and overzealousness of the ACCJC. The question we have to ask is, why are 89% of all the sanctions that are imposed nationwide imposed by this ACCJC from the years 2003 to 2008, and some 64% of all of the sanctions nationwide imposed by this ACCJC in 2011-12. That's the fundamental question that has to be answered. While the Assistant Secretary will make her certification decision in February of next year, there are still many unanswered questions. Prior to that, department staff and the National Advisory Committee on Institutional Quality and Improvement will issue recommendations to her. But again, it's an advisory body, and the recommendations that they make are not binding. The staff recommendation will become public around December 7th, while the committee will meet in Washington, D.C. on December 12th and 13th. Many of us here have submitted comments to the Department of Education. Many of us will attempt to attend that meeting to give commentary to the advisory committee. But again, they are only advisory, and as such, their recommendations do not necessarily have to be followed by the Assistant Secretary or the Secretary. As I mentioned earlier, the 3 lawsuits have been initiated to seek to void the ACCJC's sanction on City College. So you can take the upcoming certification decision, the lawsuits, and the ongoing efforts by City College to again earn ACCJC accreditation and hope that among these efforts, one of them will stop this bad dream, or should I say, the nightmare in which City College would close. Collectively, we know there are 85,000 students that attend this school in its 9 campuses. These are 85,000 students seeking a better life, seeking an opportunity to succeed in college, and this institution cannot be shut down. This forum is for those of us who don't want to sit and wait. So students, tell us why City College is important to you. Teachers, let us know why your institution is important and why your instruction, your department is vital to the Bay Area. And those of you in the community college administration, tell us how to make the accreditation process fair and supportive of its mission of teaching and learning. Representative Eshoo, Senator Bell, Assemblyman Amiano and I intend to run an orderly forum, one that will result in a body of perspectives and facts that can be taken to the Department of Education in further support of a fair accreditation process. Now I turn it over to Congresswoman Eshoo.
Thank you very much, Jackie. And most of all for your tenacious leadership, not only on this issue, but on so many others that make not only a difference to your constituents, but to the people of our country. And thank you for inviting me to be here today, to all of the distinguished colleagues on the dais. I'm so privileged to represent the people of the 18th Congressional District, which includes a part of San Mateo County and a good part of Santa Clara County, the Silicon Valley. And the jewels in the crown of my congressional district that I count amongst the jewels in the crowns are the community colleges that are a part of it. So I'm very pleased to join in this effort today. It's a very, very important one, and we know that community colleges nationwide, and of course here in the Bay Area, represent a lifeboat to millions of Americans. As the cost of college outstrips the ability of families to pay, students have been able to enroll in more affordable community colleges instead of taking on the burden of student loans that come with four-year institutions. The economic downturn has required more people to learn new and marketable skills in order to be competitive in the workforce. Much of the training and education for new skills has come from our nation's network of community colleges. That's why they are so important. And what's been a lifeboat for many has certainly been a springboard for others. Notable community college graduates include Dr. Craig Venter of the College of San Mateo, who is best known for his role in sequencing the human genome. Eileen Collins of Corning Community College, who was the first woman to pilot a U.S. space shuttle and the first woman to command a shuttle mission. These are individuals that were born out of the community college system in our nation. I'm a product of a community college, Kenyatta College. Not so appreciated in Washington, D.C. It's good to hear the applause here. Somehow I'm lesser, but less is more, right? So I know firsthand the kind of opportunity these institutions provide. I know the struggles that students face to become successful. They work 1, 2, even 3 jobs, juggling part-time work with their studies. Many earning some income to help their families as they try to help themselves. I know their hopes and their aspirations to prepare themselves for a better future. And I know community colleges are not just places of learning. They're community centers with real people overcoming real-world issues. So when I learned of the accusations against California's Community College Accrediting Agency for treating really community colleges unfairly during their accreditation reviews, I was especially troubled. Learning that in the past 6 years, over 60% of California's community colleges have received a, quote, sanction, when the national average is no more than 6%, is a deep cause of concern to me, to all of us, and it raises a red flag. Reports of bad record-keeping, conflicts of interest, and non-compliance with federal regulations has also fueled my concerns. And it's exactly why I'm here today with all of you. I want to listen very carefully to the panel of community college representatives and concerned citizens, certainly you, the students, about your experiences with the ACCJC. I want to hear how the system can be made better. And most importantly, I want my constituents and all California students to always have the opportunity that I had. And that is that they be able to attend and flourish and graduate from one of our community colleges. So thank you very, very much.
Good afternoon. I'm Jim Bell, State Senator from San Jose. I represent most of the city of San Jose in the State Senate. And I wanted to thank everybody for attending today's meeting. And thank you to the faculty, staff, teachers, especially the students who are being affected by this academic crisis. And also thanking the guest speakers that we have today. We really applaud your input to us, and in some cases your courage in coming before us and talking to us. As most of you are aware, this past August, Senator Nielsen and I jointly submitted a request to audit in the state legislature the Accrediting Commission for Community and junior colleges. The audit request was approved and voted on by the Joint Legislative Audit Committee. And our auditors are scurrying around preparing the audit for us at this point. And despite the destruction of records that took place immediately after we disclosed we were going to propose an audit, we will conduct an audit, and I guarantee you auditors will look at every crevice and cranny of the Accreditation Commission to get all the information we need to have an audit completed. And they are used to people doing this kind of thing, destroying records. Auditors are pretty good about that. This is a bipartisan effort. I wanted to say it's an effort that is just another step we need to take to get to the root problem of our accreditation system and have the auditor make recommendations. And Senator Nielsen, he could not be here today because he sends his regards, but we're considering a legislation, of course, with our colleagues in the Assembly, and hopefully support from the governor to reform our California laws regarding accreditation. Today, I look forward to hearing from our experts about the accreditation process and how it impacts the community colleges and the governance structure and ultimately our students. I understand the needs of our community college. I have 9 brothers and sisters, and 7 of them went through the community college system. I think, and my mom and dad did also, by the way. I think without the community college, we would not have received our college education. And coming from a family of limited means like we were, I think it really made a difference to give us that avenue to succeed in life. And we kind of succeeded. Maybe I didn't quite succeed as much as my parents wanted to do. But I think we did okay. And we need, but to do this, we need a fair, and I think most importantly, a transparent system to accredit our schools. We ought to know what's going on. There's so many people that are affected by this. In California, over 2 million people go to community colleges in California, so it is such a major issue for the state of California. And as a state legislature with my colleagues, we are very concerned about this. There are many unanswered questions, confusion, and misguided information. And our students really deserve better than this. That's what we're all about, our students. You know, we got that. Getting the students through the community college as easy as successfully as we can. And I want to thank our Congresswoman Spear and Eshu for helping us with this issue, and they're going to be a great partner in working on this subject. And I want to thank our guest speakers. Now we're going to take all this information, and believe me, we're going to do something about this. That's what I can say at the end. We're going to do something.
Oh, sorry. This is really cool, okay? We have the gratifying presence of 2 of our congressional representatives, and it's very rewarding to have their attention. They're extremely hardworking people, and they're one of the small group right now in Congress who are enlightened as to social justice issues. So, and Congresswoman Spear is correct. It does take a village. Although in San Francisco, it's more like it takes the village people. That's who we are, folks. You know, we're populist. We reach out to each other. We sometimes are dysfunctional. Hey, you know. But it's been such a wonderful opportunity for people. You know, my daughter went here. My son-in-law went here. I taught here. I've seen City College through a variety of lenses, and the journey has been spectacular. And so for someone to come in and be who is from all those processes and all those dynamics, living in a bubble, having a bunker mentality, and also having the privilege of not being scrutinized for years and years and years. So what happens? They get greedy. You know, they go, well, we're not really elitists. We're doing this for the common good, meaning the common good of themselves. And there's, you know, there's a pseudo-morality that I've heard being expressed by the accreditation committee. Lots of duplicity, lots of double standards, lots of trivialization of your lives and what you put into it. Lots of demonization of the teachers and the instructors, regardless of the surveys that show how effective our teachers are here at City College and what the students think of them as well. So it's time to not be the victim, but be warriors. What happens here is really going to reflect what happens in the rest of the state. Senator Bell and Mr. Nielsen, he was very diplomatic. Mr. Nielsen is to the right of God, but he is on the right side on this issue. And for the gentleman of the cloth, he certainly had quite a few eloquent things to say about Ms. Bino. So usually you would think I would say those things, but he was about the hubris and the arrogance. And I say corruption. I really do say corruption because it's a corrupt system that allows them to So we will work on legislation. I think that the accreditation's pushback has actually enlightened a lot of people in Sacramento. We will work with the governor. You know, one downside is the governor did sign a bill that I was not very happy with around payment for the centers and things like that. And so we're going to try to get him off that track and on this track as well. So thank you very much, and we will kick a lot of butt with class, of course.
We're now going to start with our special guests here at the dais who are going to speak, and then we're going to open it up to comments and questions from the audience as well. First is Ron Galatola, who is the Chancellor of San Mateo County College.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for that warm welcome. I really want to begin, though, by publicly extending my personal gratitude to our two members of Congress for their steadfast and unwavering support of education throughout their distinguished careers. Representatives Anna Eshoo and Jackie Spear have been actively involved with the City College matter for many months, including engaging and actively engaging the U.S. Department of Education. So thank you again to the two of you. I also want to publicly thank Senator Jim Bell and his colleague, Senator Nielsen, for their active involvement in vigorously seeking a full audit of the ACCJC by the state of California. I do remember, I think Assemblymember Amiano had a few comments at that hearing as well, too, so thank you for those. What I don't want to do is put words in the senator's mouth, but in conversations with Jim Bell, he said that, you know what, we do have to make changes. And the first change that I want to work on is changing the mandate that requires us to use the ACCJC. Now I want to talk a little bit about you. First and foremost, City College of San Francisco has a proud legacy of exceptional teaching and learning since 1935. Currently, City College exceeds the statewide average in student completion, persistence, and ESL. That's pretty impressive. There's only about 5 benchmarks that they use. You exceed the statewide average in each one of those categories. And some, you do considerably better than our own institution at College of San Mateo, Skyline College, and Kenyatta College. So applause to you. You know, I personally asked President Wong, the president of San Francisco State University, if the students who transferred from city to state were prepared. He not only said yes, he stated that those students outperformed resident students that started at State as freshmen. Regarding technical education, we send our graduates to the same employers that you send your graduates to. So I've talked to those employers. I've talked to the employers in allied health, the nursing, the rad tech students, and I've said, how are they? Are they prepared? Are they doing a good job? They said they're exceptional when they come from City. So what I have to say is, at City, the magic still occurs in the classroom. Dedicated faculty and staff are producing quality graduates. Isn't academic excellence and achievement really what matters?
Yes.
Then why have we moved away from effectively measuring the quality of education and somehow shifted our focus to following a host of ACCJC mandates disguised as meaningful standards? More specifically, the ACCJC believes that City College should be closed permanently because of its failure to meet 14 recommendations outlined in a show cause evaluation report. Sounds like a pretty lofty thing. It sounds scary to most. I'm going to break that report down for you. So I'm going to start by saying, I'd like to preface my next few comments by saying, City College of San Francisco should be closed forever because, using the first recommendation in that show cause report, there's 14 of them. City College of San Francisco should be closed forever because they don't have a, quote, this is in the report, prescribed process and timeline to regularly review the mission statement and revise it as necessary. Or the second recommendation of the report. I went through these. If you have not read this report, go on the link and read it. The second recommendation of that report, City College of San Francisco should be closed forever because they did not develop, quote, a strategy for fully implementing its existing planning process. You have a planning process, but you have, I guess, not fully implemented the existing process. City College should be closed forever because they do not, quote, systematically assess student support services using student learning outcomes. My favorite head scratcher of all, and I mean it, I'm losing hair on the top of my head here. City College of San Francisco should be closed forever because they did not, quote, develop a comprehensive plan for equipment maintenance and replacement. I've just given you 4 of the 14. Read the other 10. Now, let me tell you something. City College is an imperfect institution. We are too. We're all imperfect. That's the purpose of accreditation. It's this transparent way of looking at ourselves, looking inward at ourselves, and working with colleagues around the state to work on best practices. But do we consciously deny access to 85,000 students in San Francisco because of these largely non-academic issues? I mean, is that what we shut the doors to 85,000 students for permanently?
No. No.
Let me tell you what the real travesty is here, okay? This is the real travesty. Listen to me carefully. ACCJC is claiming that City has fiscal problems, yet their own financial analysis, they sent out a financial team to evaluate you. Remember that?
Yes.
They said that you would be in the black if Prop 30 and your parcel tax passed.
Yes.
Well, guess what?
They did.
You want to know what the real truth of the matter is? When the ACCJC publicly announced City College's show cause sanction and subsequent termination of accreditation, you, in turn, experienced 2 years of double-digit enrollment decline that led to an additional $26 million of reduced revenue from the state. That's the problem. City's current financial shortfall is essentially a result of students electing not to attend a college in perceived chaos. The only plausible explanation for City's massive enrollment decline is due to the severe, overzealous actions taken by the ACCJC.
Yes.
Simply, the punishment does not fit the crime. City College is not the only victim in this sustained assault by the ACCJC. Our entire community college system is and has been under attack for an extended period of time. And here are the facts to support that. Pull out your pens, pull out your pencils, write these down. From 2003 to 2013, the ACCJC sanctioned 66% of California's community colleges undergoing accreditation. 66% from 2003 to 2013. Since 2007, that's one full 6-year accreditation cycle. All 112 of California's community colleges went into that cycle. 71 of the 112 were sanctioned. 71. Do you know what the national average is? That's the highest, by the way. There are 6 other regions. This is all, I'm a CPA in my former life, so I'm torturing my numbers. There are 6 other regional accrediting agencies. The highest was 6. The lowest was 0. The average national is 2. More facts. In the last 3 years, 32 of 48 community colleges in California were sanctioned. That's 67% sanction rate. And the ACC generated 89% of all sanctions issued nationwide from 2003 to 2008. And similar levels exist through 2012. Now, really pay attention here. On the contrary, if you were a commissioner who underwent a review, you did considerably better. What I'm saying is if you sat on the commission and you were a chancellor or you were a president or you were a faculty member, you did really well. A matter of fact, that same time frame from 2003 to 2013, 20 commissioners' institutions were reviewed. 20. 1 was sanctioned. 1. That's not near 67%, is it? Do you realize that the ACCJC has required closure reports from 10 member institutions like you? 10. The most notably are you, Diablo Valley, Cuesta College, College of the Redwoods, College of the Sequoias, and Compton College. And they closed Compton. And you know what? That community has never been the same since. This is pretty important as well. You know, there are countless accounts of where commissioners ignore the review team's recommendations. You see, just 2 weeks ago, we went under accreditation at our 3 colleges. Some would say that I probably should have my head examined since I'm going through an accreditation year, so I'm speaking about this, but this is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a couple of egregious examples here, and I know these to be fact, because a colleague of mine sat on the commission, or sat on the review team that reviewed Northern Marianas College in the South Pacific. That team recommended full reaffirmation of accreditation to the commission. By the way, several years before that, another team recommended full reaffirmation of accreditation to the commission for Diablo Valley College. Both of those colleges, once the commission went into its private room, had its privately held hearing, came out with the worst possible sanction you can employ, the same one you got, show cause sanction.
Yeah.
Let me tell you where this all kind of came to fruition for me, is that I realized that 2 of our 3 colleges back in 2006 were sanctioned. 1 wasn't. Yet our 3 colleges do the self-study reports together. Just like the 9 of your colleges work together to do their self-studies, 1 comprehensive, we did the same. 2 of our colleges were sanctioned, 1 wasn't. And I said, what was different? They were the same reports. At that time, the president of Skyline College was Vicki Morrow. She sat on the commission. That's when I started doing the investigation about 7 years ago, and then went back about 10 years and saw this data. But you know, my poster child, what is for fundamentally wrong with the ACCJC, is Santa Barbara City College. In March of 2013, they received the prestigious national award from the Aspen Institute for, quote, high achievement and performance in a community college. Now, for those of you who don't know about this award, it's a very prestigious award. They look at every community college in the nation, over 1,000 community colleges. They narrow it down to 10. Only 1 of the 112 was chosen in California in 2013. It was Santa Barbara City College, and guess what? They won. They were recognized as the best community college in the nation. 2 months earlier, the ACCJC put them on sanction. As you heard Congresswoman Spear mention, and is of great concern to me, the president and the vice chair of the ACCJC are soliciting letters of support from select CEOs. Interestingly, I didn't get one, by the way. And organizations, and having them send those letters directly to the ACCJC for submission. So what they're saying is, write nice letters about us, but send them to me, and I'll make sure the U.S. Department of Education gets them. And the reason why, and in the letter it says that, we're not getting a lot of support out there. Well, hello. So this has been a crusade of mine for about 6 years. This isn't new for me. It's dating back to our 2 colleges were sanctioned. We too had an unblemished reputation for nearly a century. And it was, and I'm going to tell you something, the 2 chairs that were sitting on the review team called me up personally and said, Ron, we did not recommend a sanction. Your 3 colleges are the best colleges we've ever been to. I don't know why you were sanctioned. We had 3 colleges. So what the issue is, there's really no quantified metric that allows for objective determination of a standard, if a standard's been met or not. That's really what it's all about. It's all subjectively determined in a closed meeting by ACCJC commissioners. And there's no balance between a minor issue like you didn't revise your mission statement and something that you might have a financial issue going on. Any standard, failure of a standard, in this realm is leading to sanction. And there are so many more things they can do. They can come back and visit, do a midterm report. They can come back and do a visit. They can ask for a report in the interim. There's so many things they can do before they sanction an institution. That's why the rest of the nation, 98% of the institutions aren't sanctioned, and 2 are. And in our case, nearly 70 are sanctioned, and 30 aren't. Unless you're a commissioner, you're not sanctioned. So what we have here is, I think, an officious regulator as opposed to a peer evaluator. I used to be involved in the ACCJC back in the day when John Peterson and David Wolf, former executive directors, it used to be executive director, it's now been changed to president. And it was all about focusing on best practices. It was about colleagues in the state in an open, transparent way, learning from one another. And it's led to some wonderful opportunities and growth. I've been in the system nearly 3 decades. It's fundamentally changed. Interestingly, I had a conversation a few years ago with Dan Walters. He's a reporter for the SACB. And he asked me my feelings about the ongoing funding cuts in education. And I really caught him off guard. Because I said, that's not the single greatest threat to California community colleges today. And he goes, what is it? And I said, it's the ACCJC. And he said, what are you talking about? And of course, I drilled him with all of these facts. And quickly, he talked to colleagues, and they said, just don't raise this. We're all trying to survive here. Please don't make this an issue. It's time to make this an issue. So why am I doing this? I've got 3 fully accredited colleges because it's the right thing to do. And the reputation of 112 community colleges and the 2.5 million students we so proudly serve should not be destroyed by a rogue organization that is not acting in the best interest of effective and meaningful teaching and learning. Thank you for your time.